Hello, today is going to be a walk along video. I'm going to take you on a little bit of my normal walk and then I'm going to cut it short because I need to go to the grocery store. It's Sunday. I want to get there before it closes. And maybe I'll take you in depending on how comfortable I feel. Some of you wanted to see inside my grocery store, so we'll play it by ear. But you will be hearing a stream of consciousness because I'm not really sure what I'm going to be saying today. All right, let's go. Well, it's a beautiful day today. We have had 2 weeks worth of rain. Last week we had a normal amount of rain. The week before we had days and nights where it poured and poured and poured. And I can't tell you how happy I am to see blue sky and sunshine today. Really, I'm really kind of spoiled here because we do get a lot of sun. But when we have weeks like we've had the last couple of weeks, it really can be a downer. But today I'm taking in the sun. And I'm just realizing, we're already halfway on my hike, and I'm just realizing I forgot to bring the good microphone, so the audio might not be so good. My apologies. Now, like I said, it's Sunday, so depending on where you are in the world, it's either the beginning of a new week or the end of an old week. And I still am in the mindset that Sunday starts the new week, but here in France, it's Monday. So I'm going to refer to last week as last week and share a little bit about what transpired. I had a busy week, a kind of stressful week, but I had some wins along the way. As you may know, I have been studying and studying and studying and studying for the DELF exam, which is a French language exam. It's a diploma that I wanted to take so that I can have the credentials to go for my 10-year resident card and for my French citizenship. And so for the last 6 weeks I've been cramming and stressing a little bit. But on Wednesday and Thursday, I sat for this exam. And I'm happy with how I did. I don't know the results yet. Won't know them probably for 6 weeks. But I hope that I did enough to get a passing grade. And I will definitely share that with you no matter what, whether I was successful or not. And many of you, I want to thank you for thinking of me and wishing me well in your thoughts for that exam. It's a 4-part exam. There is an oral comprehension part. That was the first part. That lasted about 30 minutes. There was a written comprehension part. That lasted an hour. There was a written production part. That lasted another hour. And that was all on Wednesday. And then got a break. And at the end of those 3 tests, I was like, okay, I could breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. But then I had to come back on Thursday, took this at the University of Perpignan, and for the oral production part. And that lasted about 30 minutes. And all in all, it was okay. That last part was the part that I stressed out the most about because for the B2 DELF exam, you need to do a 5 to 7 minute monologue where that you're debating a point, you're arguing a point, and then there is a part that follows where there is a debate. And I think that I did okay with that. I could have done better with the monologue, but the debate part or the conversation, because I didn't really get a sense that it didn't feel like a debate to me, which was good because that's not my strong suit. So that went pretty well. So that was my big win for the week. And then after that, I was relieved, but then a little bit lost because I'd been spending so much time over the last few weeks just heads down studying French. And so I was a little lost. What am I supposed to do with my time, right? I still have a lot to do because I've put a lot on hold. My third book, the draft of that has been completed for some time, and I haven't really looked at it much. I think I looked at it one time in the last probably 4 months, and so now it's time to take that back out, make some I'm going to be a little quiet here because this is a little bit of a treacherous stretch, so I'll pick my thought back up once I'm done. Right. Now that I'm out of the woods, I forgot what I was saying. I think it was talking about the exam. So I was talking about my draft of my book. Beginning of January, I'd signed up for a program to figure out how to find a literary agent. And I was working on that when I realized, Patricia, you need to do nothing else but study for this exam because you're not as far along as you thought you were. And so that's what I did. And now it's time for me to pick up that draft. I've gotten some feedback, and I need to work on that first chapter a little bit, get that in shape, then start looking at the agent work, how to find an agent again and get that going. I also need to tackle my taxes. And that's one thing that I wanted to do this morning, was really just start collecting or gathering my documents. And so I sat down to do that. And unfortunately, the two websites of the places where I have my investments, they were down for maintenance because, well, while it's in the morning here on Sunday, it was like 10:30. It's really early in the morning in the U.S., and so they had both sites down for maintenance. And so I said, I think that's a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing my taxes today. And so I decided to come on this walk, get some groceries. I think I'll even go to the movies this afternoon. I did not go to the movies in February. And since October, I've been going to see one movie a month, one French movie a month, because I have gotten to a place where I understand a lot, probably 90 to 95% of what they are saying in a movie, mumbling and all. And that feels amazing. And so I've rekindled my love of movies. And last month, I didn't have the time to do it. And now today, I've got a little bit of free time, so maybe this afternoon I will go to a movie. Not sure what's playing, so I'm going to have to do some research on that. But looking forward to starting that back up. Also next week, or this week, this Saturday coming up, March 22nd, I am having hosting this workshop with Christopher Wells, Plan, Pack, Minimize, and So I'm putting together the finishing touches on that, and that's a workshop, an online workshop to help people who are moving abroad figure out how to downsize their stuff. If you've got questions about shipping, all of that, that is the workshop for you. So that's another thing I've got on my plate, but I think I'm in a good shape for that. Just a few loose ends to put together for that, and then we'll be ready to go. Now we have these stone walls, and you can see here, this one has collapsed. There's another one on the other end of the trail that has collapsed. I think when we get so much rain, the rocks just come apart. Last night, there was an event called Correfoc. I think that's how they say it. And it's a Catalan tradition where people dress up as devils. They put the horns on their heads, and they have fireworks, and they walk through the streets. And then at the end, there is this fireworks show. And I posted that on Facebook and Instagram, and that was not something I was planning to go out to, but as I was in my apartment, I could hear the fireworks going off and the drums beating, and I thought, oh yeah, let me go out and check it out. I went last year. It was really loud. I remember it was really loud. It was really loud this year too, so I didn't stay out there too long, but glad I did go out and kind of indulge with that. I think this is the video that will go out on Thursday, so just a few days from now, if all goes well. Now, this is not the most direct route to the grocery store. As I said, I wanted to get a little bit of nature in before I went down through the city. Now, spring is just a few days away, and I am so looking forward to that. I know the U.S. has already had their time change. This past week was challenging for me because I had to remember that they are 1 hour closer to our time than they usually are, and that is going to be the case for the next 2 weeks as well, until March 30th. So that is a challenge that I face working with clients in the U.S. 2 times a year there is this time zone change, and it doesn't sync up exactly. So really have to be aware and cautious. I have a coaching call on Saturday that's an hour earlier, and I didn't miss it, but I started cooking. And then I'm like, oh, you're not going to be able to eat what you just cooked because you got a call in 10 minutes. So things like that. But I'm getting used to it. I think this is probably the 3rd or 4th year where I have had to deal with that, and I'm getting better with that. And this building here is the music school, and it's really a pretty interesting building. I took music lessons there 2 years. The first year I had like a couple of lessons, and then COVID returned, and so I had to do lessons online. And the second year I had my lessons in that class, in that building. And I then played my flute like daily for a long time. And then I guess toward the end of last year, I let up on that. And now I did play my flute on Tuesday, the day before my exam, because I thought that would be a good way to relax and unwind. And that was the first time I'd played probably since December. So that's something that I think that I'd like to pick back up. But the reason I think I stopped was one of the aims I had with my music was I wanted to play in a group or in a duo, right? I didn't want to just play in my living room by myself. And so not having found that, I got disheartened and put it down, and then got busy too with the exam. So we'll see when I pick that up again, because I do thoroughly enjoy it. It's a great way for me to relax. Most things are closed on Sundays. We've got this Maison de la Presse that is open, and next to it we've got a butcher shop that seems to be open today. And then there are the supermarkets that are usually open until 12:30 p.m. They're doing some work on the streets here, and don't know when they're going to finish, but it's not very pretty. I'm just going to the grocery store to pick up a few items. I don't need a whole lot, but I ran out of my tea. Hopefully they have it. I have a store brand of Russian Earl Grey tea that is so flavorful that I want to pick up, but they don't always have that. And I want to pick up a few items for a salad that I need. But beyond that, not a whole lot, not a full week's worth of groceries. I do tend to shop more frequently here because my refrigerator is smaller, my freezer is tiny, and the food has fewer preservatives in it, so they last. They rot faster. So I find myself going to the grocery store a couple times a week, and that's okay. I'm not, and to the market. I've kind of finally synced up my my need for vegetables to Saturday, and so over the last several weeks I've been able to get my produce at the market, and so that has been pretty neat. So they did work on this part of the road too, so they finished paving it and it's nice and smooth. So hopefully that will be the case for the road a little higher up that we just came through. Now, this supermarket's about a 20-minute walk from my apartment, and I just passed a smaller supermarket. It's not a supermarket, but a smaller market that's in town. That is, I guess, about 10 minutes from my apartment. So if I need to pick something up quickly, I can stop in there. But they're not open on Sundays, and they don't have the brand of tea that I'm looking for either. So. And this is the traffic circle called the Corridor. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And you'll see in the distance there is a statue of a bullfighter. And that's because the arena where in the summer a bullfight is held, or bullfights are held, takes place. Unfortunately, this is the arena is over there. Unfortunately, this is a city that still has bullfights where they actually kill the bull. So, and in town at the butcher, you can see a sign that says "Taking orders for bull meat." So, and there are protests that happen every July. I'm typically not here because that weekend is a big party called La Feria, and it's just very rowdy. People get pissy drunk, and it's just not a pleasant place if you're not going to party. So, and each year they say, oh, they're going to stop it, but it doesn't seem like that's really going to truly happen. And so that's a weekend that I go to either the mountains. Last year I went with my friend Baini to, where did we go? Went to Spain. We went to Girona. That's where we went. I did a video on that. You want to check that out, I'll put a link to that above and in the description. So, not sure where I'll go this July, but something to look forward to. This is where I'm going, to the Carrefour market. It can be a busy place on Sunday morning. We'll see how busy it is today. Bonjour. So I just did my groceries. Not sure how good the footage is going to be of that because I had my hands full, so the camera was in my pocket. So we'll see. But if I have to cut that part, or if you don't get to see that part, my apologies. So don't have my week all planned out. I think that's something else that I will do this afternoon, is sit down and look at my planner and put things down so that I get them done and am not so aimless. As I said after my exam, I was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And I've got a lot to do, so I need to make sure that I am taking care of what I need to take care of in an efficient manner. So I'm going to do some planning today that had fallen by the wayside as I was studying, but now it doesn't have to be the case. Definitely writing is on my list of things to do. Just doing my taxes, that's another thing that I will definitely have to tackle. I want to tackle that starting Monday, gathering all the documents for that and get that going. Got a little bit of a late start this year. Usually in February I'm on top of it, but maybe it's a better thing that I've waited a little longer to take care of that, because then my tax preparing and planning doesn't have to take up half a year. Maybe it's 4 months instead of the 6 or 7 months that it takes. And I say that because I have to deal with the US taxes, file those. That's due in April. Then come May or beginning of June, I've got to file my French tax declaration. And then I've got to wait until September to hear whether or not they think I owe taxes. And the first few years that I filed, even though I got a French tax accountant, they always seemed to think that I owed. And I don't always have to dispute it. And in the end, I haven't yet owed. Last year they got it right. So hopefully this year they'll get it right again. So I think that is where I'm gonna wrap up this video. Not really sure how it's gonna all fall out, because there are parts where I wasn't talking, there were parts where I was just filming. So we'll see how this all pans out. I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.